Hey, Scanshine.
Hi.
We've got some visitors. They're on devices right now, but we have visitors.
Yeah, you do.
Say hi. Say hi. No, I said say hi.
Say hi.
Hello.
Okay.
Amigos, ¿cómo estás?
So, they're gonna be in here while we're doing another animated story. This is take 3.
Take
Yes,
3.
because I
Shh.
interrupted.
Yes, because he interrupted.
Mm-hmm.
This animated story is called "My Teacher Got Me Pregnant, but He Doesn't Love Me." So, let's see what's happening. We'll flip the camera and I'll make sure that I flip it this time instead of pressing stop for
Kick
record.
back and relax and enjoy the show.
So let's do this.
Okay.
Let's press the play button.
Truly evil and destroyed someone's whole life? Well, I have. I was 19 and about to graduate from high school. But then my math teacher, Mr. Cumberbatch, told me I'd failed his class and would have to repeat the year. I was devastated because I had already made plans to go to college. So I started crying and begged him to show mercy and let me pass. But he said, no, and shook his head. In a last attempt, I gave him a big hug and said, please, Mr. Cumberbatch, isn't there anything I can do? He pushed me away and said, no, it's too late now. But I showed persistence and kept begging him, saying, please, 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 Mr. Cumberbatch, isn't there anything I can do for you? Finally, he had a change of heart and wrote down his address on a paper and said, okay, come here on Saturday, 6 p.m. We'll do some math exercises, and if you do well, I will change your grade and let you pass. I gave him one last hug and said, thank you, Mr. Cumberbatch, you are the best.
Okay, let's just talk about that. Alright? The equation is pants plus skirt plus no undies equals a baby. That was not for math equations. That was for a rendezvous.
Exactly. So, a little messed up so far.
Oh God, this is gonna be terrible.
This is gonna be
This is
interesting.
gonna be this is gonna be bad.
This is gonna be a little screwed up.
Alright. I want your opinion first, sir.
Here's our friend.
What is your opinion first?
My opinion is what the fuck is wrong with you?
Hey! Watch your language! Kid friendly!
But you're agility friendly.
Yeah. What's your opinion so far? What?
Bro, this is gonna be bad.
I know!
So,
See, even he thinks it's bad.
it's gonna be crazy wild.
I'm so sorry for the other one. Apparently, he doesn't know what kid friendly is. Oh my God, you children! I'm so sorry for the profanity that he has used upon me. I am not profanity.
Sorry, I am not a kid-friendly person.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit your. Don't. You know I don't like feet. Don't touch me. Stop.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but with your feet, that's so
Okay.
gross. Okay,
Get
let's.
ready for some more action.
Yes, some more action, pussy.
When Saturday arrived, I was very nervous. I didn't know if I was going on a date or if I was getting a private math lesson. But just to be sure, I dressed myself up. I put on my old school uniform, but made a few changes to look as exciting as possible. When I arrived at his house, he opened the door and said, come in, you're looking gorgeous today. I responded with, thank you, Mr. Cumberbatch, you're looking good too. We sat down at a desk and he told me to solve some math problems, but I couldn't focus. Mr. Cumberbatch was so close to me and I realized how attractive he was. I mean, I was 19 and he was only 10 years older than me. What turned me on the most was the authority he had over me. He could decide whether I would pass the year or repeat it. At one point, I just stared into his eyes and hoped he would kiss me. But I guess he was too nervous. So instead, I kissed him. And he liked it. Kissing my high school teacher wasn't technically illegal, but we still broke the rules of our school. A teacher-student...
Okay.
Okay, for one, you don't make out with teachers. For two, you don't make out with teachers. For three, you don't make out with your teachers!
It's a good way to get your teacher fired and a bad reputation for you.
He could go to jail. She could go to jail. You could go to jail.
Go to jail.
He's right.
I could go to jail. That would
What
be
do you
fun.
think? What do you think?
Death.
He thinks death.
Death
What
is
do you think?
amazing.
Sir, reading. What do you think?
I'm not reading right now.
He is texting on the Google.
I will throw a sausage at you.
He's
Hold on.
texting on the Google. He's texting on the Google.
Why are you texting on a Google?
And I'm talking
on.
with Levi.
I want an opinion. We want
I'm
an
looking
opinion.
up something right now because I'm gonna read something off the internet.
No!
Answer
I want
the
you to
question.
give us an answer to the question so that we can continue.
I am right now. Normally, teachers are not.
No, I don't want the Google answer. No, I want
we
your
want it from your
answer,
mouth.
not the
From
Google
your
That
answer.
was his answer.
No, I want his actual opinion.
Yeah, that was my actual opinion.
No, I don't want from Google. I want
My
from
opinion
you.
is from Google.
No, I want it from you, not from your phone.
Oh, okay, fine. Normally, why the heck would you date your high school teacher when that normally would not be allowed until you are in college? That's what I am thinking right now. Why don't you go to college first, and then you can do that?
Because they're not
He's
supposed to think
19 though,
sexually of their
so it's not-
students.
But yet, it is breaking school rules, and plus you can
Yes.
get your teacher fired for doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah, he could. If you're underage and he does that too, you're
You're
toast.
As long as you're still going to that school, if that happens, your teacher is most likely going to get fired.
So, we want opinions from you commenters also. Please tell us about that section of the video. We would love to know. Let's switch back
to the party.
and let's finish this up.
Relationship was strictly prohibited, but that's what made it so exciting. When we said goodbye to each other, I asked him if I had studied enough to pass the year, and he said, "You have worked very hard today, and therefore I will let you pass." I said, "Thank you, Mr. Cumberbatch," and gave him one more kiss on his mouth. This might shock you, but it was my first time. And because of my inexperience, I forgot to tell him to use protection. So 2 weeks later, I found out I was pregnant. I didn't mind though, because I really liked Mr. Cumberbatch. The next day, I went up to him at school to tell him about the baby. I secretly hoped we would become a couple. But when he heard the news, he got angry and said, "You will go to the pharmacy right now and get the pill." I didn't like the way he talked to me. This was my body and therefore my decision. I asked him if he was interested in raising the baby with me, but he freaked out and screamed, "I already have a wife and kid. I'll never take care of your stupid baby. Go to the pharmacy right now." I screamed back, "You're married?" And he said, "Of course, and don't act like you didn't know. All my students know I have a wife and kid." Wow, what a jerk. Not only did he betray his wife, but now he was trying to put the blame on me. I got angry and said, "I will keep the baby and tell your wife what you did." That's when he almost had a seizure and screamed right at me, "You won't do that." But then I had an idea. I knew I would keep the baby anyway, but at least I could pretend to make a deal with him. I said, "If you turn all my grades into straight A's, then I will change my mind on the baby." Mr. Cumberbatch was desperate. He agreed to the deal and snuck into our school at night to change my grades on the principal's computer. But 2 days later, on my graduation day, things went wrong. When my principal handed over my report card, he took a quick look at it and said, "There must have been a mistake." I immediately knew my plan had failed, and the next day I got my real report card, and my grades were terrible. The only A I got was in Mr. Cumberbatch's math class. I knew it wasn't his fault, but I was so angry, I found out his address and went to his house. A woman opened the door, and she was pregnant too. I asked her if she was the wife of Mr. Cumberbatch, and she said yes. Then Mr. Cumberbatch appeared next to her. He stared at me in a very threatening way. For a moment I had doubts, but then I looked straight into her eyes and said, "Your husband got me pregnant, and he has no interest in taking responsibility for his mistake." I hoped she would get angry at her husband, but instead she got angry at me, screaming, "You bitch! You seduced my husband, you dirty bitch!" Wow, if Mr. Cumberbatch hadn't held her back from me, I might not be alive today. I was shocked and went back home, but it got worse. The next day, she came to my house and used a golf club to break in through a window. My parents weren't at home to protect me, so I fled to the rooftop and called the police. They arrived in time and took Mrs. Cumberbatch into custody. 2 weeks later, she was sentenced to 24 months in prison. But this story gets even crazier. I called up Mr. Cumberbatch and told him we needed to talk. We met at a restaurant and I asked him, "How much child support will you pay me each month?" He responded, "I'm only a teacher. I don't make much money." But I asked again, "How much child support are you going to pay me?" He said, "Look, my pregnant wife is in prison and we both know she is insane. I will divorce her as soon as possible and I'd like you to come live with me. It will be the best for both you and the baby." I immediately said yes because I was scared of being a single mom. But after my daughter was born, I had to take care of both her and Mr. Cumberbatch's other baby. At first I didn't mind. I loved them both. But then I saw how Mr. Cumberbatch preferred his other daughter over mine. He spent more time with her and treated her so much better. Every morning he said to her, "Hey sweetie, good morning. I love you so much." And then he completely ignored my daughter. I had to admit that she was the perfect child. Extremely beautiful and very smart, much smarter than my daughter. At age 2, she already spoke fluently. I often screamed at Mr. Cumberbatch, telling him to treat them equally, but he never did. At one point, I couldn't take it anymore. I went to a lawyer and asked him how much the father of my child had to pay me in child support on a $40,000 teacher salary. He told me to expect at least $1,000 per month. That was a good amount, but I knew I could do better. So I went to Mr. Cumberbatch and said, "I will move out, but I expect you to pay me $2,000 in child support each month." Of course, he told me he didn't have enough money to do that, but I continued. "If you don't pay me the money, I will tell the school authorities that you got me pregnant while I was one of your students. I'm sure they will fire you for that." He got angry and said, "How stupid are you? If I'm going to lose my job, then how am I going to pay your child support?" I responded, "You are demanded by the law to pay my child support anyway. If you don't, you will go to prison just like your wife." "You are insane. All you women are insane," he said. But I didn't care. I told him to get a second job, and we figured he could tutor kids to afford the $2,500 in child support. Meanwhile, I moved back in with my parents, and life became much easier for me. Right now, my mom takes care of my daughter while I'm going to college. With the $2,500 Mr. Cumberbatch sends me each month, I have enough money to feed my daughter and party through the weekends. Trust me, I really enjoy my college life. But Mr. Cumberbatch had to...
We're gonna pause right there.
That's messed up.
Who in the right mind thinks it's okay to divorce their wife and
Be with the mistress.
be with the mistress when they had already gotten their wife pregnant and the mistress pregnant? His mistress is in flippin' prison for good criminy sake. And oh my good gravy. He treats his first child better than his second one. That is like choosing favorites. I'm sorry to tell you guys this, but we don't choose favorites.
You don't choose favorites.
That's a no-go. That's a messed
you
up.
treat the child the same love and respect as you do the other. Same thing when you deal with other relatives.
Exactly.
Sorry.
This is...
But BS.
That is some bull cracker jacks. So I don't
do favorites. And first of all, this is a little crazy.
What do you think about favorites, RJ?
Yeah, I'm a middle child. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about favorites, Kaylin?
I hate life.
That was dramatic.
And plus, with my siblings, I have two older and one younger. And my oldest sibling was the only one that really cared about me when I was living with my mom.
True. We have a tragic stories in this house.
Because my mother is a...
Hey!
Hey!
It's true. She is. She didn't care anything about me. She
Okay.
really-
I know, I get it,
she
but
will
you,
bring herself up and-
alright, we will do the sob story of you next time.
We're,
At
we're,
least I didn't say the word.
okay, we'll cut that there.
I did.
You know what?
Let's just continue.
Let's make part 2 is a wrap for right now.
Yes.
We will make a part 2
in a moment.
and we'll see you in a moment.
To be continued.
To be continued.
Continuar.
Say it.
Bye.
He didn't say it.